Thanks for joining us for our February AMA. It's great that the community has sent in their questions on the project. And as always, allow me to introduce the CEO, Gennady. Good afternoon, Gennady.
Yes, good afternoon, Tristan. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Thanks for joining us for February AMA. I hear that we have some great questions to get into, and if there will be any questions during the AMA, we'll also address them during this AMA.
Let's get right into it. I'll start with a great question from the community that we got yesterday. I discovered that the Shping app via the Coinbase Learn and Earn and was quite surprised, despite its adoption, this project is still under the radar of the crypto community. I've been using the app for a few months now and realized that it's packed with many different and cool features, which explains why you position the app as a shopping companion app. My question is, what is the long-term vision of Shping and what does it look like in 5+ years?
It is a great question. It's probably we could dedicate the whole AMA just to talk about the Shping vision and where we're heading. But as a summary, what would be the best way to sort of pack the answer into something short and concise? Look, many of us don't realize that for every active shopper in the world, there are $500 spent on marketing just for brands to get messages across to consumer. So $500 per person, it's a crazy amount of money. And most of these funds are spent on intermediates such as Facebook and Google for them to get this message across. But ultimately, we as consumers are paying for those costs because brands incorporate their marketing expenses into the price of the goods. So essentially, we as consumers are paying for their marketing efforts. So our core mission is to connect brands and consumers directly in order to reduce the cost of engagements for brands. And by paying consumers directly, brands get much better conversion and compared to traditional marketing. So they have an opportunity now that they know they and consumers to pay directly for their attention and using these rewards and incentive to also influence buying decisions. So by reducing marketing costs for brands, we're also helping brands to reduce the cost of goods, which sort of creates this very rare case where all parties win from joining this new ecosystem. So our big vision for sort of 5+ years is to connect 2 billion active consumers. That's how many active shoppers there are in the world, with all the existing and future brands to facilitate this direct engagement and the exchange of information. Obviously, to do that, when we're addressing such a broad vertical, each retailer have their own needs, and therefore we are developing tools to accommodate and to address their requirements so they can actually leverage them on this new medium that we've created to engage with their customers and to address their customers' needs as well.
Well, look, it's amazing that you would have real impact on what the price of a product would be by lowering the cost of advertising to consumers. That's an incredible and lofty goal to have, and it's admirable that Shping can do that. You recently shared some stats on the increased volume of receipts being processed by Shping. Could you please share some of this data with the community, but also explain why this growth is important for the Shping platform?
Certainly. So one of the sort of big and very important modules of Shping app is receipts, basically receipt capture. So from the consumer perspective, why would a consumer want to upload the receipt? So by uploading the receipt, you're actually able to have a digital copy of your purchase receipts. Whether you'll need it for your insurance claim, or if there is a product recall, or for any other reasons, if you need to have a copy of your receipt, By having a digital copy, which is also a searchable copy, and when I say searchable, it means that we extract all the data from the receipt, which means that if you want to find a receipt for an iPhone charger you bought, let's say 2 years ago, you can simply search for iPhone charger and you'll find that receipt. But also those receipts, they fade with the sun exposure. So therefore, very likely that even in the traditional environment, if you find this receipt, it's not going to be much use because it will be very hard to read anything on it. So having a digital copy is very important. But also by uploading a receipt, you can let brands know that, hey, I just purchased your products. And brands will be more than happy to reward you for buying their product. So because you now are noticed or can be seen by the brands, uploading the receipt is essentially saying, hey, I just got your product, and brands would reward you for that. So essentially by uploading a receipt, you get cash back on every single item that you purchase, because those brands will reward you for putting their item into your basket. But at the same time, you have a very good sort of filing cabinet for all of your receipts, because we also categorize them by store. So if you bought them in Kmart, it will go into your Kmart folder. If you bought it from Myer, it will go into Myer folder, and so on. As part of it, you're also creating a lot of value for the brands we work with, the analytics that they can get by understanding what people are buying, what they're putting into their basket. That creates a lot of value for the brands. Doesn't cost you as a consumer because you already paid for those goods. But if you could leverage this data with brands and get rewarded for that, that just creates additional value. So when you are uploading the receipt, we need to map the product or the text that you have on your receipt with the GTIN, with the product GTIN. And that's something that is done. It's something that we need to train our system to do, because each retailer would have their own abbreviation on products. And therefore, so there is no database that you can tap into and say that retailer is going to call this product XYZ, and the other retailer is going to call the same products XXZ. And therefore, we need to train the system and say that if product being bought in Coles, and that's the name of the product on the receipt, this is this barcode number. So we map everything to the barcode, global trade item numbers. And once the product been mapped, next time as someone uploads the receipt, it will automatically attribute this purchase to that particular product. So we've been training our system, and as we train the system, we're able to recognize more and more receipts immediately without mapping process. We call it mapping when we map the unrecognized strings to GTINs. So the numbers, and I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I looked at the numbers and we did discuss it during our last meeting. I think we've doubled in the last 4 months. I think we've doubled our number of receipts and recognized receipts twice. So basically every 2 months, we've managed to double the numbers. So it's the take-up been tremendous. We're really happy with the participation from consumers on the uploading receipts, but at the same time, system ability to recognize those receipts have proven to be a lot more robust, and we're recognizing a much higher percentage of the uploaded receipt than we did before.
Look, and while we're on receipts, I had another question from the community, and that was in a recent Twitter post that we shared, there was video of a new receipt capture technology developed by Shping. Could you please tell us more about that development?
Certainly. So currently, the way receipt capture works is essentially it's a camera. It takes the photograph of the receipt. So if it's a small receipt, consumer will take one photo, and that photo is going to be sent to cloud, where we extract information, process it, see if we can recognize the receipt, see if it's a duplicate, because we don't allow 2 receipts uploaded twice. So therefore, we get those photographs and we work with them. So it's basically 1 photograph per receipt. With the new technology, it's more looks like a video, where you take a video, but while you essentially taking this video, we take hundreds of pictures. And therefore, if one of the pictures is not such a good quality, or the focus is not right, we have another 99 to work with, meaning that the extracted data that we're able to extract from the captured information is way better. I don't want to give you the number, but we could say 99% better, because we get that many photographs. So that's very important, because the better the quality and the easier it is for consumers to capture those receipts, it will increase the adoption, but at the same time, it will give us a better data, and the accuracy of data is extremely important for us.
It's incredible that we've come up with this new technology that, as you said, instead of 1 photo, we've got 99 others in case something goes wrong there. But on that as well, we're taking receipts from retailers. We've increased the amount of retailers that we have on the application. What's the process for expanding that cohort, and what impact does that have on our value proposition?
So we've started by creating templates where we essentially manually would create a template to recognize a receipt. And we've, in the beginning of the process, it will be a separate template for each retailer. Obviously, we started with the bigger guys, but what we've started to do at the same time, we started a training system to understand and to be able to recognize other templates, even if they're not been pre-built. So it's a bit of a use of AI to understand different blocks, what they would most likely correspond to, which will enable us to open up this technology or this feature to pretty much all the retailers, and which would be very important for our international expansion, because we want to, once we start taking steps to other countries, we want to be able to scale very quickly. And so for us to be able to understand the template of the receipt without doing any pre-programming is very important, and that's what we're working on. At this stage, we have increased the number of receipts we are adding into the system, only because some of this pre-programming already done automatically, and we still do a bit of manual adjustments. But going forward, we hope that it's going to be fully automated.
That's incredible. Look, that brings us to the end of this, another AMA, and one step closer to those milestones that we're currently working on. Thank you to the community for your continual support, and thank you, Gennady, for giving up your valuable time to inform everybody on the Shping project.
It's a pleasure. Wishing everyone a great weekend, and we'll speak to you end of March. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.